Sup YouTubers, this is Tim Yugioh 2 and today I'm with Anthony Hyson Towers. We're bringing you a deck update of his regional topping inzektor lightsworn deck. So yeah, here we go.
Okay YouTubers, here we go. I'll run through the cards and then I'll go through the strategies. For inzektor cards you've got inzektor hornet, pretty standard. I've dropped it down to 1 gigamantis, 1 dragonfly, I'm up to 2 ladybug now, and 3 centipede. I've dropped down the gigamantis. It seemed to be a bit of a dead draw at crucial points in the game. Still running a single plague spreader, it's really good, helps me get out of really sticky situations with Catastor. Doomdozer, still a really favourite tech of mine. I've lowered him down to 1, he's not at 2 and I will explain as I go through. A new tech is Dark Arm Dragon. I run a lot of graveyard control and inzektors are dark, so with them going into Exceeds I can pretty much control how many darks I have in my graveyard at any point as long as I have 3 or more. BLS, pretty standard. I still run a few of my lights and as I go through you'll see why. Going over to my hand traps, I've got 2 Tragodia, again dark, and I run a lot of different levels in this deck so I can take control of near enough quite a few cards on my opponent's side of the field and go into Exceed with him. And again, to Effect Veiler, he's a light tuner, gets me out of a lot of sticky situations, brilliant against Sams at this moment in time, stops them getting off with a Kageki and wastes their normal summon. For my mill, I run a Raikou, he's at single. I run him at single because as soon as a lot of people see a Raikou, they take in a nobleman cross out, but I only run him at the 1, so even if they do get rid of it, I'm not really losing too much. 2 Card Trooper, really self-explanatory, mills the deck, and when he's destroyed, draw a card. Brilliant for this deck, especially if I have a Trag in hand, gives him an extra 600 as well. Carrying on with my lightsworn, milling engine, Lilas, brilliant for destroying back row, and with play going into a great level 6, going into either a Gaia Knight or a Gravity Warrior. I'm using Gravity Warrior at the moment because against Sams he can go up quite a lot and it's more or less just effect, so they're not just stopping any spell and traps, so there's no destruction there as well other than attacking as well, so it's brilliant. Not much a lot of backline other than stopping their summons. And then for my quite key point of the deck now, which is really great, I run 2 Tour Guide and a Tour Bus. At the moment, first turn I can go Zen mains against a 6 Sams and it'll stall them for at least a turn, giving me either some darks in my grave, as well as the XYZ giving me possibly a dad, or if I've already milled, giving me some darks in my grave for BLS or so on and so forth. Also brilliant because I use Doomdozer and quite a lot of remove from play in this deck, so going into a Levier, say ditching my Underworld, my Torbus, sorry, recycling my Centipede, special summoning with Dragonfly, gives me a lot of options for basically swarming the field and getting a really good field out really. So that's basically it for my monsters. I'll run through a couple of the strategies later. For spell cards we've got Charge of the Light Brigade, really good. I either mill him over and not use it, or I use it and mill over a decent amount of cards, gives me just that extra search and basically thinning out my deck. And then basically going for general spell lineup, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Foolish Burial, Allure of Darkness and Monster Reborn. The Foolish Burial helps getting Hornet and Plague, really good. Allure, I actually really like it at the moment because as soon as if I go Allure, drop a Dragonfly removed from play first turn, I can go into a Tour Guide, go straight into a Levier, get a first turn Terrorist, say if I've got a Ladybug in my graveyard or so on and so forth. So that's basically it for the spell lineup. 2 Zek Caliber, sorry. I've lowered it down to 2 because I found that I was having a lot of dead draws with it. As a single card just drawing from my deck, and basically with Torbus now I don't find that I need to add to my hand enough as much anymore, because I bring it back to my deck. Going to my trap lineup, I've now teched 2 Call of the Haunted. Really good, because as soon as your opponent say MSTs it, blind MSTs, I can chain it and go for the Tourbus and get an additional out my graveyard. I can also target stuff like Doomdozer, BLS or Dad that's in my graveyard to get multiple uses off them and carry on the duel if I do last a very long time. And again, traps, 2TT, really good in this format. I'm finding that against Sam's it's probably my most favourite card. As soon as they basically use all their resources, TT just before they shy in, really good. 2 bottomless, self-explanatory really, just really good in this format with Solemn Warning being down at 1.
Gets rid of those fire fists.
Yeah, gets rid of those fire fists. And my personal choice in the deck, Breakthrough Skill. The reason being, I find that with Effect Vaders, I don't need to run a Fiendish Chain, because I have these and that, so I don't find that monsters on the field are really that bothering, other than continuous effects, obviously, stuff like Archlord Christia, but that's where my bottomless comes in. And also against 6 Sams, say if you run into those rogue Dino Rabbits, Laggias, Dolkers, anything that basically stops you from activating stuff in your turn, you can get rid of it and not be really worried about it, and not a lot of people expect it as well, so it's really good. So say if I start with a Dark Hold, I can remove this and Dark Hold 6 Sam field.
Get these cards in, they are going to be really good this format. It's being used at locals and causing a lot of problems, so test it out,
Moving on to my extra deck, I'll start off with the lower ranks. We've got Zemains to start off with the freeze. I took out Gachi Gachi because it was a bit situational, and found that it wasn't surviving me a long term, and with Zemains at least I get a destruction as well, and it's pretty tough to get by. Moving on, we've got Tempo, really good at the moment. I find that against a lot of Exceed decks, if you can get rid of their cards off their XYZ, stuff like Fire Fist or 6 Sams, they can't do a lot of stuff against it, especially you can activate it in both players' turns as well, so it's quite a good card. You can chain it to play. Moving on, we've got Levier. I'm considering putting him up to 2, but I'm not too sure if I can find the space, mainly because he's really useful, but with Tourbus as well, I can recycle him pretty much the same as well. Tourbus gets quite abused in this deck at the moment, and yeah. Moving on, you've got Giga Brilliant. He's a light, rank 3, so he's easy to tour guide, or go with the Inzektor. He's an insect, so he goes well with BLS or Doomdozer, and also as well, he can boost up your Gigaman, your Centipede up to a 2/7 attack power with a Zet Caliber as well, so he can get over those nasty little 2/5 attackers, and also Rivals and Gores as well in attack power as soon as that as well, which is quite easy to bring out. Moving on, we've got Leviathan, pretty standard, beat stick. Considering taking him out for a acid golem though, because 3k is a lot harder to get by and he's a bit slow, he doesn't go up straight away. Utopia, pretty standard again, just a bit of stall if I ever need it, and Tragodia usage. On the last video I had a lot of people say that I needed to get an extra stack, so here he is. I've been testing him and he actually works out really well with the Gigamantis and bringing him out, so and also with next format with E-Dragons, I can rob their Rello's Darkness out of their graveyard and they can't use it, which is quite handy. Volcasaurus, really good late game for those destructions. He can still attack opponent's monsters as well, which is why I find it really handy, but unfortunately it can't attack your opponent directly as well, so really good for late game, quick destruction, getting by a monster and doing the last bit of damage. And then early game Tyrus, if I start off with a dragon and a ladybug, I can go into a Tyrus and it slows my opponent down and they can't get rid of it quite easily. 2/6 attack bar and can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effect while he has an XYZ. So and also with destruction as well on himself, he has actually pretty good. So I'll just run into a few of the combos. Basically, my favourite combos at the moment, they all more or less resolve around Tourbus, and even if he gets removed from play or banished, or however people would like to prove, it doesn't matter because I have my Levier, and then he just gets synchroed off with Plague. Oh, I never actually went through my synchros, sorry. Going for my synchros, going for my synchros, I'll run an armory arm. I found that it was a lot better than the Gachi. Gives him 1000 attack crease and negates the destruction of that monster while I can get rid of him. Also gives him an effect to the equipped monster of Flame Wingman, so I can equip it with just a Dragonfly, say, and get a 2k attack power. Equipped him, say, with a Zek Caliber, giving him 2/8 attack power. Pretty beefy monster, hard to get by. Moving on, we have Catastor. As I said, I find it really useful. Gets over Cheyenne, a lot of cards. Not really fussed about beat sticks unless you're against dark monsters. Moving on, we've got Gravity Warrior. As I said, testing him out at the moment. It'll either be him or Acid Golem that I use. I'm not too sure which one I'm going to try at the moment. I'm looking for an Acid Golem, so at the moment it's just testing him. Next level 6, we've got Gaia Knight, Force of Earth. I find that he's 2/6, 2/6 beat stick, just gets by a lot of 2/5 attackers, which is around at the moment. Scrap Dragon and Mistworm, my 8 and 9. Scrap Dragon, just really quickly, if you say get rid of Call of the Haunted, you exceed and you've got a spare Call of the Haunted on the field, you just pop that off to give yourself some more space. Mistworm, mass clear the field, just really good. So that's my updated deck, and hopefully you'll give me some more comment.
Yeah, this has been Tim Yugioh 2 and Anthony Hyson Towers. I hope you've watched this video fully through. Sorry it's a bit long, but yeah, if you enjoy it, we'll be updating the deck on a regular basis. Please like the video and subscribe. Peace.